Imagine a stock that's up 338% in 1 year, but just lost $228 million. Would you buy it or run away screaming? Because thousands of investors are making this exact decision right now with BigBear.ai, and most of them are getting it completely wrong. Hey everyone, I'm Wealth3AI, and today we're diving deep into one of the most confusing stocks in the AI space right now. BigBear.ai isn't your typical AI hype stock, and that's exactly why so many people are confused about it. By the end of this video, you're going to understand 3 critical things. First, what BigBear actually does, because it's not what you think. Second, why the numbers look so scary, but might actually be telling a different story. And third, whether this stock belongs in your portfolio or your avoid at all costs list. And hey, if you find this helpful, smash that like button. It literally takes 1 second and helps more people discover these deep dives. Now let's get into it. Section 1. What BigBear actually does. So, first things first, what is BigBear.ai? Think about it this way. Imagine you're running an airport. Every single day, thousands of people walk through security. You need to know who they are, if they're a threat, and you need to know it fast. That's where BigBear comes in. They don't just make cool AI chatbots or image generators. They build the technology that protects borders, secures airports, and powers national defense systems. We're talking about AI that the US government literally depends on to keep people safe. Their facial recognition software, called TrueFace, works with 99% accuracy in real time. That means it can scan your face and match it against a database of millions of people in seconds. And it's not just used at airports anymore. Banks use it. Your phone might use similar technology. It's everywhere. But here's what makes this interesting. When your biggest client is the US military, you're not selling t-shirts online. You're in a completely different league. The question is, does that make BigBear a safe investment or a risky one? Section 2. The numbers that don't make sense. All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room. The stock is up 338% in 1 year. That's amazing, right? But wait, they just reported a $228 million loss. How does that even work? Let me explain this like you're 12 years old. Imagine you have a lemonade stand. Last year, you made $100 selling lemonade. This year, you only made $82. That's an 18% drop. But at the same time, you spent $228 on fancy equipment, advertising, and hiring your friends to help you. That's BigBear right now. Revenue dropped 18% to $32.5 million. Losses exploded because they're spending aggressively on growth. But they have almost $400 million in cash sitting in the bank. Now here's the million-dollar question. Are they spending that money wisely, or are they burning through cash with no real plan? Section 3. Why did revenue drop? So why did revenue drop 18%? Was it a bad product? Did customers leave? No, here's what happened. The US Army, their biggest client, slowed down spending on certain programs. When the military taps the brakes, BigBear feels it immediately. But think about this for a second. Does the military stop needing security technology? No. They might pause one project, but they always come back. Because the alternative is using outdated systems that put people at risk. This is where understanding the business model matters. BigBear isn't selling sneakers where trends change overnight. They're embedded in critical infrastructure. Once you're in, it's incredibly hard for competitors to replace you. So the revenue drop, it's concerning, sure, but it's not a death sentence. It's more like a temporary speed bump. Section 4, the $400 million question. Here's where things get really interesting. BigBear has $390 million in cash. That's up 679% from last year. Let me put this in perspective. Their current ratio is 1.91. What does that mean? For every dollar they owe in the short term, they have $1.91 to cover it. That's actually really healthy. But here's the thing about cash. It's like having a superpower that you can only use once. How BigBear spends that $400 million in the next 12 months will determine whether this stock goes to the moon or crashes back to Earth. Will they use it to win massive government contracts? Build groundbreaking new products? Acquire competitors? Or will they just burn through it trying to keep the lights on? Right now, management says they have enough cash to fund operations for at least 12 months. That's good, but funding operations and growing the business are two very different things. Section 5. What Wall Street is missing. Here's what the big institutions aren't telling you. Big Bear isn't trying to be the next Nvidia. They're trying to be the next Palantir. Remember when Palantir was bleeding money for years? Everyone called it overvalued. Then they started turning profits, and the stock exploded. The pattern is almost identical. Big Bear is projecting revenue between $125 and $140 million by year-end. That's ambitious. But if they hit the upper end of that range, Wall Street will have to reevaluate this entire stock. The average earnings move for Big Bear is 12%. That means every time they report earnings, the stock typically swings up or down by 12%. That's volatility. That's opportunity. That's also risk. So here's the real question. Can you stomach the volatility? Because this stock isn't for the faint of heart. Section 6, the verdict. Should you buy? All right, let's bring this home. Should you buy BigBear.ai stock? Here's my take. And remember, I'm not a financial advisor. This is just my opinion based on the data. The bull case. You're getting a company embedded in national security with cutting-edge AI technology, nearly $400 million in cash, and massive growth potential if they execute. The government isn't going anywhere. Neither is the need for AI-powered security. The bear case. Revenue is dropping, losses are exploding, and if they mismanage that cash pile, this stock could collapse. Plus, government contracts are unpredictable. One policy change could derail everything. So here's the bottom line. This is not a stock for beginners. This is not a set-it-and-forget-it investment. But if you believe in the AI revolution, if you think national security is a growing market, and if you can handle the volatility, Big Bear might be worth a closer look. Just don't bet the farm. Start small, watch how they deploy that cash, and adjust your position as new information comes in. All right, your turn. Would you buy BigBear.ai at current prices, or is it too risky for you? Drop your honest thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one, and your perspective helps everyone watching. And if you got value from this breakdown, hit that like button and subscribe. We do deep dives like this every week on stocks that actually matter to retail investors like us. Remember, investing isn't about getting rich overnight. It's about making informed decisions, managing risk, and playing the long game. Do your own research, trust your gut, and never invest money you can't afford to lose.